Why, hello there, and I'm still here. I hope this video finds you very well, and I thank you for tuning in today. What is in the box? Because this is an unboxing. Well, you'll find out. I actually have a couple unboxings coming up soon. In fact, there's a few things off to the side here that you can't see that I have to unbox. So I'm going to be doing a couple of those videos now. And I'm hoping that these are pretty good, personally, because I've been looking forward to some of these for a while now. We're starting off with this one. There should be two things in here to unbox. Yep. One, a Megaron. And two, a Real Steel. Actually, funny enough, I unboxed it with the Real Steel Destra here. An excellent knife from Real Steel and a budget territory. This one is also in budget territory, in fact. Let's start off with the budgety one and save the Megaron for a minute, because that is not quite one of the cheaper Megarons. Pardon me. Come on, get in here. Really? Okay, really? Okay, yeah, sure. Alright. Actually, now that I think about it, this Megaron, I mean, not Megaron, this Real Steel is actually designed by the same people, I think, that designed this one. This is Poltergeist Knife Works, and this is the Spectra, which is also, as far as I know, yes, it is a Poltergeist Knife Works. I mean, yeah. Whatever. Shut up. Open the knife. There we go. This is bigger than I thought. Honestly, whenever I've seen this one, it looks like it's going to be a much smaller knife, which is kind of strange. It's got a lot more presence and height than I was expecting. Quite comfortable in the hand. Strong detent. That's why I was slipping off of it at first there. But that's weird. It feels pretty strong here. Is there like oil on this disc or something? I'm slipping off the disc a lot. Flat grind, Nitro V steel, some actual peel ply texture G10, non-reversible pocket clip, which is kind of unfortunate because it is a button lock. Kind of like a dusty one or something. I don't know. Pops open pretty darn well. There's a little bit of button stick, but I don't mind that on my button locks. How about... there's a tiny bit of play in there. Let's just reach over for our T8 and see what we can do about that. And it's gone. And, well, they better center it since they're putting the that line down there. That certainly looks pretty centered to me. Is it? On camera, it doesn't look like it. That's weird. In person, it definitely looks like it. Huh. Interesting. Whatever. As long as it works, and it does. Yeah, that's strange. It's got a decently strong detent, and you can feel at the thumb flick, but the reverse flick, it feels a lot lighter for some reason. Weird. So this is bigger than I thought, but it is a budget knife and a button lock at that. Very solid. Stop pin is attached up to the blade. Give you a sharpening tool, though the plunge grind does come to just about the rear end of that, which is not ideal. Almost straight back, slight drop to it, but definitely a lot of belly there. But I can still get to the tip. That is the one thing about this. I kind of wish they had angled this thing a little bit differently, or put a different kind of stud. You know what? No. It's not really something you want to come up underneath, but if you come up, I mean, they milled it in an area where you're supposed to approach it from, and if you do that, it works just fine. So, I can't say anything, I'm just being stupid. Overall, I've been wanting to check out the Spectrum. Spectrum. Yes, it is the Spectrum. Decently thin, not too bad. Both Poltergeist knife work designs. I can see some similarities here, but like I said, this thing is really just a lot taller than I thought it was. For some reason, whenever I've seen it in pictures, it always looked a lot sort of narrower, or just in general smaller, but this is pretty close to a full-size knife, honestly. I like the texture. Actually, I like the texture on both of these quite a bit. Oh, hit the camera there. Feels like it's got a pretty strong pop out there, so... Yeah, no up and down play, no. I like it. Alright, let's get right into the second one. Get the other one out of the way. Dog. I don't know if you heard him in the background, but he said hello. I'm assuming he said hello, by the way. He probably, in fact, said something much more rude, but... That's just him. That's just him. That's always him, the rude dog. Alright, how does this open? Oh, it slides out. Okay. This is, as I said, not a budget Megaron. Oh, pop out there. This is the... Ooh, okay. What is this thing called? The Geloty? Geloty. Sure, whatever. Get out. There we go. This is sort of a greenish... Let's turn on an extra light here. I don't know why that seems to be also dark today. Sort of a pearlescent green-blue crystal tie with a lot of skeletonization here, obviously. Let's get this thing out. Okay, okay. Ooh, look at that. That is a thick blade. Thick blade stock. Still comes down to a decently thin edge. Definitely gets thick fast, but that does come down there pretty decently. Little bit of an upswept tip, but actually I can still get to that pretty easily. Vanex blade steel. It is a titanium frame lock-on bearings. Very smooth. Rock solid. That's almost drop shut out of the box. Perfectly centered. Yeah, this is pretty nice actually. I like this one. I like just the look of it. It's interesting. It's kind of got a similar look to some of the things that get off of there that Reich does with their skeletonization and everything on like the Alien series and stuff. I have the Alien, but this is nice. Very, very nice. How's this? The plunge grind is not nice. Pretty bad. In fact, it's already getting a smile started right there. But big, full, flat grind. Just weirdly thick. I mean, it does come down to a decently thin edge. But, like, this would be definitely a candidate for a hollow grind if they're going to put that kind of thick blade stock on there. Lock bar axis is good. Very smooth. Good detent. Really grippy jimping. Woo. How's that pocket clip? Not bad. Not bad at all, in fact. Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's a little boxier than I was expecting. I don't know. I thought it might have a little bit more contouring, or some contouring to it, to give it sort of, you know, to give it that more natural shape to go along with this milling, but still, it's a pretty good looker. And I like this sort of crystallized blue-green that they've got going on here. You can even see some purples in there, actually. Very interesting anodization on this. Never seen one jump between not just blue and green, but even purple. Very strange. Alright, that's it for me for this first unboxing here. Hopefully these were interesting. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I'm suffering from allergies and all kinds of crazy things right now. So I will carry these a little bit, review them. Ooh. That is not a great edge. It's not terrible, but it's not bitey at all. Not a great edge there. If you've been paying attention to Migron, they've been doing some really good stuff in the budget territory with bumping up their heat treats. Vanax is not one that's particularly hard to heat treat because, well, it seems to cap out around 61 HRC, 61, 62 HRC. You really can't get it much higher, supposedly, from what I understand. So it's usually a pretty good one that companies can do decently, but I know they've been bumping up their heat treats across the board lately, and I'm glad to see that. But I don't think you have to worry too much about for this one. That's the Geloty, or sure, let's just call that, and the Spectrum. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you later.